Our main protagonist's name is Vachan. He's a handsome, perfect six-piece guy, but he has a strange problem in his life. Time keeps repeating itself over and over again. Initially, the main lead thought it was fate, no work stress, no worries about the future, just fun. But after enjoying himself for so long, he grew bored. So he started doing whatever he wanted without any fear, illegal activities, seeking thrills, eliminating a notorious gang with a gun, robbing a bank, because he didn't care about the consequences. He even tried to take his own life several times to escape his useless and meaningless life. But every time he returned to the same day, July 7, 2020 at 7:00 a.m. This is the story of a man who has lived more than 300,000 days, which is exactly 1,000 years. Over this time, he'd learned hundreds of languages, hacking, the world's advanced technologies, and much more. The male lead was telling this story to impress a girl. But the girl didn't believe him at all. She thought he was making up a story just to impress her. To be honest, seeing him say such things made her think he was a bit strange. She immediately texted her friend to come quickly, but the male lead calmly replied, "Your friend won't be coming." Hearing this, the girl was shocked. Seeing her disbelief, Vachan said, "Her boyfriend is back. She'll go with him. Obviously, he won't have time to come here. If you don't believe me, wait 9 minutes and 13 seconds. He'll call you." Hearing this, the girl stood up in anger. She accidentally bumped into a man standing behind her. The man immediately grabbed her hand and demanded compensation, claiming he had damaged her body. The girl protested, but he wouldn't relent. Then Vachan intervened and diffused the situation. "Come here." Hearing the provocation, the man angrily lunged at him, snatching a lollipop. But Vachan easily dodged him and landed a punch. Enraged, he lunged at Vachan, but the male lead launched a powerful attack that nearly killed him, knocking him away. Seeing his man being beaten, his boss arrived with a group of armed men, intent on killing the male lead. But Vachan calmly asked, "Is this how Javalingi trains you guys?" Hearing this, the boss's face changed. Then Vachan called Javalingi and asked, "Where are you? Your misguided disciple is harassing people." A voice on the other end of the phone asked, "Who are you and how did you get my number?" Vachan replied, "If you don't want the outcome of the Donga battle to change, tell me what month it is." Hearing this, Javalingi was shocked. She couldn't believe the male lead knew about this. Vachan said coldly, "Control your people. Next time I won't end it with just a phone call." With that, he threw the phone back at them. Hearing this, they were horrified. They immediately bowed, apologized, and left. The girl standing behind was even more shocked by this. She couldn't understand how dangerous this guy's background was. Just then, her best friend called. She apologized and explained that she couldn't come because her boyfriend had returned. The girl was completely shocked and looked at Vachan. Vachan asked her to come to the parking lot. There, Vachan pulled up a red Ferrari, surprising the girl even more, but Vachan calmly explained that he had stolen it. Just as he was about to lie down, the girl stopped him. "How am I going to get home? Would you really send a vulnerable girl like me home alone?" Vachan replied simply, "Sorry, but I'm not interested in girls whose makeup skills are less than 8 points. Hearing this, the girl became angry and immediately removed her makeup. Vachan looked at her and gave her a rating. 9 points isn't bad. Then he said that if she wanted to prove he wasn't lying, she could come to his house. "We'll sit and talk comfortably." The girl, putting her hand on her waist, said, "Okay, let's go. I'm not afraid of anything. If you're lying, I'll call the police now." Then the two sped off. The scene cuts to the next morning at Vachan's house. After a night together, Vachan opened his eyes and welcomed a new day. He was ready to say goodbye to the beautiful little girl. But then the girl came out of the bathroom and angrily asked, "Why didn't this happen as you said? Isn't July 7th supposed to repeat itself again and again? You wanted it. Explain it to me. Why is it July 8th today?" Seeing this, Vachan panicked. He hadn't expected it to actually be July 8th. Outside, the girl was constantly banging on the door and yelling, "Vachan, what kind of a man hides in the bathroom? Get out. You said you'd explain everything. Now tell me what's going on." Inside, Vachan was taking a bath and wondering if this was actually the beginning of the time loop's end. The joy in my heart was uncontrollable. I was finally out of the cursed loop. I was finally back in the world I came from. Then suddenly, a notification from the system appeared. The host has passed the 10,000-year time and space reincarnation trial. System activated. Seeing this, our main lead was shocked. He had awakened the system. System host Vachan basic attribute strength. Speed and patience at spirit 10,000 times space overlap, use 365,000, and then the host's abilities began to manifest. English level 9, gunmanship level 9, and so on, a total of 1354 skills. Vachan observed carefully. His physical attributes were quite ordinary, but his spiritual strength was so immense that it was astonishing to see. Then he wondered, what is this time-space overlap? Maybe I can repeat time at will. The system immediately responded and confirmed that Vachan could now freely decide when time would repeat. But the fixed reset time was 7:00 a.m. If he repeated the same day, it would cost only 1 point the first time, and the cost would double each time after that. Hearing this, Vachan became very excited. Now he had not only time control but also 13,354 level 9 skills: cooking, fighting, shooting, driving, and who knows what else. Before he was just an ordinary student, but after 10,000 years this was proof that his suffering wasn't in vain. Everything was back to normal. His current abilities could give him a chance to shine in life. Thinking this, he burst out laughing. Hearing his laughter from outside, Tian became worried. He thought that Wuchen had really gone, but just then there was a loud banging on the door. People were shouting, "Get back the car. Get out the car you stole last night." Seeing this, Tian panicked. He thought that Wuchen had stolen the car again and now they had reached their house. But our male lead hadn't yet realized that time wasn't repeating itself, and in fact he had stolen Wang Yun's car. Tian was shocked to hear this name. Who was he? Was he so powerful? Wang Yun's real name was Wang Su. 15 years ago he was a top science student in Donghai. His future was considered bright. But during his summer vacation after the college entrance exams, his parents were brutally murdered during a housing demolition. In a fit of rage, Wang stabbed someone to death, earning him 3 years in prison. After getting out of prison, he began causing trouble and gradually rose to prominence. He had no power, no background, no money, but his IQ was far higher than the average person. Today, Wags had become a well-known and powerful figure in Donghai. Wuchen knew how to deal with Wags. But the timing wasn't right. Wags was just a small issue in this entire match. The bigger problem was something else. Yesterday, Wags had used young Master Li's name to portray himself as powerful. If this were exposed, it would create a huge problem. Perhaps people from the entire East China region would start hunting him down. Wags rubbed his temples and made a decision. The first time-space reset was July 8, 2020. This time, she spent 1 point. Kota's quota remained at 36,499 points. July 8, 2020, 7:00 a.m. Vachan opened her eyes and looked at the ceiling. A faint smile appeared on her face. How can I explain this now? But before Tian could react, Wuchen put his finger to her lips as there was no time to explain. Hearing this, she bit his finger and called him irresponsible. She hadn't expected Vachan to abandon her so quickly. Given her position, she might have been able to live without fear, but in reality, she was just an ordinary girl. When she realized that Wuchen knew her true identity, she stopped pretending. She promised to help him reconcile with Vachan. Vachan extended his hand, embraced her tightly, and whispered, "So you'll save me just like I saved you yesterday." The girl's face turned red. She immediately pushed Wuchen away and said, "You're such a jerk, then wait until you're beaten to death." Then Wuchen's voice rang out. Suddenly, she became serious. "Excuse me, but the people I know can crush Wengyan like an ant." The girl asked suspiciously, "Who?" Face flashed through Wuchen's mind. A very interesting woman. After a while, Tian left, but as soon as she left, Wengyan's goons started chasing her. "Catch her, it's the boss's car, don't let her escape." The goons pressed the accelerator and began to close in on Wuchen's car. They pulled out their guns and threatened, "Stop the car or don't blame us for misbehaving." Seeing the gun, Tian screamed in fear. She has a gun. But Wuchen's face lit up with excitement. That's what makes it fun. "Hold on tight." With that, he shifted gears and accelerated the car to the maximum speed. The girl screamed in shock. "Are you crazy? Why are you driving so fast?" Wengyan replied helplessly, "I have no other option. If I get caught, I'll definitely be killed." The red-haired thug in the car behind roared angrily, "Go after him. Get the boss's car back and smash that to pieces." While Vachan was calling the mysterious woman, the phone connected and a woman answered. Vachan said, "Miss Lig, let me give you some advice. There's a trader around here. He's the one who's going to make you lose your bet." Li Rong immediately asked sharply, "Who are you and how do you know about my bet?" Vachan remained calm and said, "I have my own sources. I know more about you than you can imagine and about your younger brother too." Just then, Weng's car collided with Vachan's. The situation was so serious that he didn't have time to argue with Li Rong. He simply left one thing to be said: "Send someone to pick me up at your company in half an hour. We'll talk there. By then you'll know who I am." By now, the cars of the two Wenjin thugs were stuck on both sides of Wuchen's car. The girl panicked and said, "This is too bad, we'll be blocked." But Wuchen gently turned the steering wheel and increased the speed. No block at all. "Look at my master-level driving skills." Saying this, Wuchen made a powerful turn and passed the thug's car. The driver behind him exclaimed in astonishment, "His driving skills are amazing." The man sitting next to him cursed, "Amazing. Get my shoe on him." All three cars were racing like crazy on the road, but Wu Chang's was still the fastest. He was easily crossing even the dangerous turns. The girl in the car was just screaming. After flying like an arrow for a long time, Wu Chang's car finally stopped. Wu Chen said, "We've reached your house." The girl looked out the window. It was really her house right in front. She asked in surprise, "How do you know I live here?" Wu Chen smiled. "Forget it. Even if I tell you, you'll still think it's the same old stories." The girl slowly got out of the car. As she was leaving, she turned back and said, "Your driving skills are really amazing. Where did you learn all this?" Washeng said jokingly, "By risking my life." I can't even remember how many times I had to die to acquire such amazing driving skills. But don't act like me. I have many lives, you only have one. The girl's face turned slightly red. She said, "You liar, give me your phone number. I'll contact you when I'm in a better mood." But before she could finish her sentence, Vachan drove off. The girl said angrily, "I'm so angry. He's been teasing me all this time and hasn't even given me his phone number." But then an idea came to him. Wait a minute, he predicted everything that was going to happen to me correctly. He must have made some secret arrangement with my best friend. Otherwise, how would he know my home address? I'll get all the information from that best friend. You bad guys won't be able to escape me. Half an hour later, a beautiful woman's picture flashed on a skyscraper's LED screen. Wu Cheng, looking at her, started to reminisce. Li Rubing appeared to be a successful businesswoman, a shining star in Donghai City, but in reality her background was quite complicated. She was the younger brother of young Master Li, the man who could rule the city. And anyway, of all the beautiful women I've ever known, her relationship with him was the deepest. After a while, Wu Cheng was led into Li Bing's office. Wu Cheng put both hands in his pockets and looked at Li Bing calmly. Lu Rubing held her information file in her hand. She slowly read it. Wait, 22 years old, Donghai University graduate, international technology major. Your father is Wada, your mother is Zhenggu, both are small business owners, and you also have a younger sister who is still in high school. Wachang smiled. Ligru is really powerful. She investigated my entire family with just one phone number. Li Rubing tore open the file. Your identity is very ordinary and no ordinary person can know about it. Who are you after all? Wachang slowly walked towards him. I know a lot about you, like who is that trader you have? Give me 1 billion, I will tell you his name. Li Bing reached under the table, pulled out a pistol and pointed it at Wachang's head. A stranger enters my office. He says he has a trader, then he asks for 1 billion. If you were me, you would agree. I'm warning you, if you can't give me a reasonable explanation, you won't get out of here alive. But Wachang remained completely calm. He quickly pulled out the magazine from the pistol and said, I knew you would use a gun. How else would you kill me? Panic immediately surged through Li Ruby's heart. My gun is always under the table. How did he know that? Did he already know? Washeng took the pistol from her hand. Then in a calm voice he said, I told you I'm an intelligence merchant. You keep a gun hidden under the table. This is just a piece of intelligence. Miss Li, trust my intelligence gathering abilities. And anyway, I have no ill intentions. I'm just here to make a profitable deal. Deep inside, Washeng thought, if she thinks my only motive is money, she'll agree more readily. Talking about money will naturally lower her guard. Li Rubbing looked at Washeng coldly and said, keep talking, and what do you know? Washeng, playing with the gun, said in a calm voice, you're Li Rubbing of the Zhengyulai family. But because you're a woman, people overlook all your accomplishments, and no matter how powerful you become, it's ultimately difficult to fight society's thinking. Your mother has always loved you deeply. Your parents' marriage was an alliance between two prominent families. That's why their family maintains a certain degree of control. But now, those same people are constantly pressuring you to marry Ding Long. You once even considered defying them and running away, but your concern for your mother prevented you from doing so. You couldn't go against her wishes. This has driven Ding Long to hate you. He ruined 3 different fake boyfriends who came after you. The first one committed suicide, the second one was sent to a mental hospital, and the third one received life impairment treatment. Ding Long is a very selfish man. He knew they were just fake boyfriends, but he didn't hesitate to attack them so that no one else would dare come close to you. To avoid this, you and Ding Long came to an arrangement. You'll both establish your own businesses. Whoever builds a big business in 5 years will win. But you don't know that Ding Long has a plan in place to win. Only half a year is left. That same man will steal your research materials and leak them at a press conference. Then Ding Long will use them to ruin your conference and you'll lose. Liu Bing fell silent. He didn't say anything. He simply wrote a check and handed it to Wu Chang, then said, continue. Who is he? Wu Chang smiled. Just then there was a knock on the door. Senior Assistant Mayan came in. He handed a stack of documents to Li Rubbing. Presently, these documents require your signature. Suddenly, Wu Chang grabbed Mayan's head and slammed it hard on the table. Then he pointed a gun at his head. This is Trader Mayan, Mayan shouted in panic. Trader, what nonsense are you talking about? Let me go. Wu Chang grabbed his neck even tighter. No need to pretend. You have 5 million in your bank account. Isn't that Ding Long's reward? Mayan started screaming again. 5 million, Ding Long, I don't know anything, madam, I'm innocent. Wu Chang pinned him to the table with one hand and took his phone with the other. It seems you won't stop until you see the coffee. He immediately dialed Ding Long's number. As soon as he called, a voice came from the other side. The documents have been found. Li Bing's face changed at this. He had no reason to doubt Ding Long anymore. Wu Chang threw Mayan to the ground. You two will explain yourself. Liu Bing came over and angrily said, I'm not going to tell you anything. I said, you've been playing both sides for so many years. You must have made a good deal of money, right? All these years I've never let you lack benefits. I never expected you to sell out for just 5 million. Mayan fell to his knees in fear. Madam, I took the money, but it was all madam's idea. She told me to do it. Vachan calmly picked up the gun and walked towards Libin. Then he said, your mother never really wanted you to marry Dinglong. She herself was a tool of the marriage alliance. She only caved into her grandfather's pressure. Dinglong must have taught you all this nonsense. He knows that your mother is your biggest weakness. Vachan handed the gun to Lee Robin. Now it's your decision. What do you do with it? Lee Robin closed his eyes. After a few seconds he said, get out, I don't want to see you again. I immediately stood up and ran away, thanking him repeatedly. Thought you were going to kill him, Lee Robin replied casually. I just don't want to kill him with my own hands. He'll be at the bottom of a river by tonight. Then she looked at Vachan sharply. To be honest, I doubt your identity now. Maybe Dinglong sent you to expose mine and win my trust. Vachan scratched his head. You're still doubting me. By the way, I have a way to put an end to all your doubts. Lee Robin asked, what way? Vachan smiled. Simple, I'll be your fake boyfriend. Then he explained, Dinglong values his reputation above all else. He won't risk his honor for a small business deal. So becoming your boyfriend is the best way to prove my innocence. Lee Robin held her chin and thought, you know what happened to my last 3 boyfriends, don't you? Vachan laughed. I know, but messing with you will make my life more interesting. Lee Robin immediately picked up the gun and pointed it at her forehead. I agree you're special, but you're still very young. If something happened to you, I'd be sorry. You're not scared. Vachan replied without blinking. Don't try to scare me. If you hadn't actually killed me, I would have forgotten about people outside by now, right? Lee Robin thought for a while. Then she put the gun back. I'm starting to like you. Saying this, she turned to Vachan. Now let's take a close photo as proof of our relationship. Vachan and Lee Robin took a cozy photo together. Vachan thought to himself, maybe she'll forward this photo to Dinglong to confirm that I'm not his spy. Lee Robin, fiddling with his phone, said, from today, you are both my boyfriend and my assistant. Someone will bring me a contract in a little while. Now tell me about my brother. Donga Huaji Midstream, Daefunanai Gongchong and Sada Tincture Club are all under your brother's control, Lee Robin interrupted anxiously. Everyone knows that. But there are some people working at Donghai who have crossed the line. Many big names are involved. The official investigation began 3 months ago. According to my calculations, your brother's entire network will be dismantled within just 1 month. Lee Robin stood up loudly. What did you say? Chan remained silent. Not only your brother, but the Lee family is also going to be implicated in this whole matter. Once the evidence is found, it won't be difficult to send your brother to jail. And most importantly, the Lee family won't be able to escape this disaster. Lee Robin frowned. This is a big deal. Are you sure about your information? Luch replied simply, don't doubt me. At the same time at the Donghai Club, a red-clad thug was hesitantly reporting. It's something like this, Wenjin, Lee Raodai's right-hand man, said, brandishing a knife. That scoundrel beat up my men, stole my car, and on top of that dares to use young Master Lee's name. Doesn't he want to live? On the other hand, Liu Jing put down his pipe and said, but one thing's strange. How did that guy know my phone number? And how did he know about Merli? Li Ru, the eldest grandson of the Lee family, said coldly. Whatever the reason, find him and bring him in front of me. I'll kill him myself. Just then the door opened. Someone came in. Everyone was shocked. It was Li Bing. All the underlings immediately stood up and showed respect. Li Ra woke up shocked. Sis. Then he immediately scolded his men. Everyone put out your lollipops, my sister. He doesn't like the smell of smoke. With that, he extinguished his lollipop in the ashtray and began waving his hand to clear the smoke. Then he asked, Shish, how come you're here? Is there something urgent? Lee Robin pointed directly at Vachan. He was just introducing someone. Vachan waved in greeting. He also threw a car into the air and threw it at Lee Routing. Your car was in the parking lot yesterday, but it's there. The red-walled thug immediately shouted. Young Master Lee, this is the man. He used your name. Vachan looked at Lee Routai calmly. Lee Routai is the eldest grandson of the Lee family. He has full authority to mobilize the family's resources. Compared to Lee Robin, he's even more powerful. He's no less powerful than Dinglong. Since childhood, Lee Robin has both protected and beaten her younger brother. Because of this, Lee Routai both respected and feared his older sister. Just then Lee Routai stammered, Sis, who is this guy? Lee Robin immediately grabbed his ear, pulled it hard and scolded him. Which guy? He's your brother-in-law. Lee Routai froze. Brother-in-law. Everyone else broke out in a sweat. The boss's brother-in-law. This was a big deal. Lee Routai rubbed his ear and said, Sis, are you bringing a fake boyfriend again? He looks pretty average anyway. Give me a good reason this time. Lee Robin put a hand on his chin. Yeah, sorry, I'm not feeling well these days, it's all because of you. As he said this, he gently punched Vachan's chest. Vachan whispered near his ear, this isn't going too far. Vachan smiled softly. What's wrong? I'm scared of Dinglong. Vachan looked at Lee Routai. I'm not scared, but your little brother is going to die of fear right now. Lee Ru was terrified. One thought kept coming to his mind. Is my sister going to become the mother of that scoundrel's child? Is he really her boyfriend this time? I have to admit, this guy isn't bad looking but not that amazing. And anyway, my sister always likes capable men. How can she fall in love just because of his looks? Wait, is he fooling my sister? Even though my sister is strong-willed, her brain stops working when she falls in love. This can't be happening. I must expose his true nature and protect my sister at all costs. Li Ru asked, raising his voice, how do you know my sister? Vachan replied calmly, 3 months ago, your sister sent people to work as interns at various universities. Li Rubbing was lost in thought. I really went to Donghai 3 months ago. How do you know this? Li Rauda asked again. You've only known him for 3 months. How well do you know this man in such a short time? He turned to Wu Chen and said angrily, Lingjai told me that you were drinking with a handsome guy yesterday. He said, who was it? Li Rubbing also asked loudly, which girl? Mu Chen calmly explained. Don't misunderstand. That girl was Mu Tian, the daughter of Mu Zairai, chairman of the Mu Group of the Mu family, a major company in Donghai's pharmaceuticals and biological industries. To be honest, you should be thanking me. If I hadn't stopped him yesterday, your little friend would be dead by now. Donghai's Mu Group was the leader in the pharmaceutical and biological industries. Its boss, Mu Zairai, was a very famous and powerful figure. If Donghai is considered a giant dragnet, then the Mu Group was the real local tyrant of that place. Mu Chen continued, whether you fear Mu Zairai or not, you're afraid of Mu Zairai. If there was a fight, only he would have won and you would have paid a heavy price. I should thank my brother-in-law, Li Rauta stammered. I can't believe it. Mu Chen, then Libing interrupted. Stop this nonsense. We're here for an important business, and on top of that someone started targeting the Hengchun Club. Wengjin and Javlingi exclaimed in unison. What? Even Li Rute couldn't keep quiet. Impossible, I arranged everything perfectly. How could they get their hands on it without me knowing? Mu Chen said, sneering. You should have ended your business with Shanhu a long time ago and stopped blackmailing people by secretly recording them. This time, Libing couldn't contain her anger. You're still in cahoots with that Shanhu. How many times have I told you that the man is absolutely not well? Li Rautai quickly began to calm his sister down. Calm down, sister, take care of yourself. Mu Chen agreed with Li Rubbing, saying, your sister is absolutely right. That man is absolutely untrustworthy. This time he will definitely betray you and put all his sins on you. Sweat began to pour down Li Rautai's forehead. He interrupted Mu Chen. Even my sister doesn't know about my and Shanyu's business. Who are you? Mu Chen replied calmly. Some things I can't tell you. I am here only because of Libing, your Libing's brother. If something happens to you, Libing will be sad, so I have to help you. Li Rautai yelled through clenched teeth. Boy, don't stand here and talk nonsense. I'll tell you everything. If you don't tell me everything clearly today, you won't leave here alive. Li Ruby immediately said, let your brother-in-law finish. But Li Rautai was so angry that he lost control. I don't care how he's fooling you. Today I'll expose his true face. Majai continued, unfazed. Very few people in the entire Donghai justice system know about this case. 4 months ago, a new police officer named Labo became deputy director. He has taken over the investigation of the Hogjan case. Muchen picked up a pen and began writing as he spoke. Some investigators had already entered, disguised as customers. He noted the names as he wrote. Cleaning Lady Liui, Security Guard Zhao. After writing down all the names, Muchen handed the notebook to Li Rautai. This is a list of moles. Check if what I've said is true. Li Rautai looked at the list and his anger erupted. He immediately gave an order. Joalinghe, gather everyone in the first floor lavatory and have your weapons ready. Yes, Muchen replied immediately. Li Rautai then said, search the rooms of all the people on Wenjin's list. Wenjin replied serenadingly, I understand. Li Rautai didn't forget to threaten Muchen. If I find out you're lying, don't blame me for being rude. Muchen calmly walked past Li Rautai and sat down on a chair. I'll sit here and wait for your apology. A while later, Li Rautai was watching the video report. His 2 subordinates were standing beside him. The atmosphere had become extremely tense. Li Rautai grew even angrier. Finally, he angrily threw the camera to the ground. Arrest them all. How dare they raise their hands at me? Do they want to die? But Muchen immediately stopped him. You can't arrest them. If even one of these people disappears, the higher-ups can take action more quickly. We've got them all together and have some evidence. But the operation hasn't been completely called off because some important evidence is still missing. Li Ru couldn't control his anger and slammed his hand on the table. So you want me to endure all this? Muchai asked calmly. Do you want to vent your anger, which means taking half a step towards jail, or do you want to get out of this mess safely? Li Rautai asked. Do you have a solution? Muchen replied. First, tell your men not to make any foolish moves. Li Rautai gestured to his men and then turned to Muchen. Muchen then smiled. Apologize to me properly, then I'll tell you. Muchen thought to himself, if I don't scare and shake him a little, he'll definitely target me later. Libing interrupted. What are you guys doing? We're all one family. If you have any suggestions, tell me quickly. Muchen closed his eyes. This guy doesn't even consider me his brother-in-law. Li Rautai snorted and immediately softened. What are you saying, brother-in-law? I've always considered you my brother-in-law. Hearing this, Muchen just laughed again. Li Raotai rubbed his hands and said, "It was my mistake, brother-in-law. Please be kind and don't take my words to heart. I was just afraid someone might betray my sister." Muchen nodded slightly. "Well, that's fine. For the sake of your sister, let me give you some advice. First of all," he said after thinking for a while, "you must first deal with the root of your problem. The longer you delay, the more your problems will worsen." Li Ru quickly replied, "Yes, brother-in-law, you're absolutely right." Muchen came over and said, "Secondly, whatever evidence is used against you, get as much information as possible about it. Don't take any action without understanding the situation." Li Raotai immediately said, "I'll get it done right now." Much stopped him. "What are you going to do right now? You're the deputy director. Do you want the matter to escalate?" Li Raotai immediately fell silent. "So what should I do?" Muchen replied, "First understand the entire situation. A hasty decision often proves the most costly." Li Raotai looked at him in surprise. "How do you know so many details?" Muchen simply twirled the lighter in his hand. Then in a serious voice he said, "Thirdly, inform Grandpa about this matter as soon as possible, especially about your business dealings with those people. Don't hide anything. Tell the whole truth because there are huge forces at work behind this. One wrong move could jeopardize the entire family. Even if the big crisis is averted, smaller problems will still arise. So Grandpa must know everything, understand?" Li Raotai quickly replied. "Yes, I understand. I'll tell Grandpa everything." I lit a lighter and said softly, "Stop operations for a while. Fix all the problems inside first. Unless the inside is clean, it's difficult to fight enemies from outside." Li Raotai nodded. "That's true." Suddenly, Libing reached out and grabbed Li Raotai's ear. "Yes, yes," Li Raotai cried out in fear. Li Rubbing raised his voice and asked, "Did you listen to your brother-in-law properly?" Li Raotai grabbed his hand and with a pitiful expression said, I listened. "Don't worry, I'll listen to everything my brother-in-law says." Just then, Li Raotai's phone rang. He quickly answered the call. "Hello, how much damage?" The answer from the other end was 2 billion. Li Raotai's face immediately went pale. "What, 2 billion? I'm coming right now." After hanging up, Li Rubbing turned to Muchen and said, "Brother-in-law, something's wrong. There's a problem at the casino. You guys please wait for me for a while." Muchen rubbed his chin. "Shengwen Jun is Fun's boss." Li Raotai looked at him in surprise. "Do you even know this?" Meanwhile, in a magnificent and crowded casino, people were happily placing bets everywhere. Muchen's group slowly entered the casino. Muchen began to speak. "Shengwen Jun just arrived in Dong'an yesterday, and he specially brought gambling masters from Macau to take revenge. The pressure you're being put on this time isn't because of the opulence of the Hangjun Club or the blackmailing of you by secretly taking photos. The real reason is the casino issue. To be honest, your business model and Shengwen Jun's are the same, using connections to lure wealthy people into gambling. Because of the experts you hired at the casino, if people win, you win, and if they lose, you lose too. Shengwen Jun has already lost several hundred million here. This disrupted his company's cash flow and caused numerous problems. And in the process, he discovered that many wealthy people had lost money there just like him. He told the Wei family about this. During the investigation, they also discovered your secret blackmailing recordings. Without delay, he and others began planning to bring down the Li family. Under normal circumstances, Shaojun would never dare to bring experts here because he couldn't afford to offend the Li family. But now he's not afraid. He believes you'll end up in jail sooner or later. Li Ru said angrily, "Dare to mess with me, that bastard, doesn't he want to live?" Much calmly explained, "Don't get so excited. Let's assess the situation first." When everyone entered, a card game was underway in the room. Shangwen Jun, the boss of the Fuxing company, stood off to the side, smiling. The gambling expert he had brought with him threw his cards onto the table and said, "I won." The dealer bowed and said, "I lost." Shangwen Jun laughed loudly, pulling the chips off the table toward himself. "Ha, you've become rich." Li Raotai went over to the table and said, "Bosh, it seems you're having a good run of luck today." Shangwen Jun stopped smiling and replied politely, "That's fine, I've won a lot of money today. Young Master Li, is that a problem?" Li Raotai also smiled. The Li family doesn't have a shortage of money with this much money. Shangwen Jun teased further, saying, "All your experts came out, but they all lost. It seems your luck isn't on your side today, young Master Li." By then, Wuchen had already arrived at the card table. He was looking at the cards. He picked up the deck and said, "But I don't think so." With that, Wuchen began shuffling the deck. Sometimes he would throw cards in the air, sometimes he would catch them. Then he looked at Shangyun Jun and asked, "Bosch is interested in playing a few rounds with me." Shangyun Jun laughed loudly. Hey, now a young man has come to play. Young Master Li, don't be so desperate. I've already won over 200 million from you today. If you want to give me more, I have no problem." Li Raotai couldn't understand. He turned to Libing and asked, "What's going on? Can he really play cards, sister?" Li Rubbing was also confused. "How do I know?" The gambling expert sitting on the other side was quietly observing Mu Chen. He thought to himself, a gambling expert understands his opponent's psychology by observing their expressions and actions. This skill comes from years of experience. This guy looks completely inexperienced. I can tell what cards he's holding just by looking at his face. Li Rubbing softly called out to Muchen. Then he leaned close to his ear and asked, "Are you sure?" Muchen replied softly, "I can make you win all your money back today." Then Mooch sat down in his chair and the dealers began dealing the cards. But Muchen didn't even bother to look at his cards. The expert sitting in front was surprised. He wasn't even looking at his cards. Is this his habit? Muchen casually flipped a card, Ace of Spades. The expert immediately raised his hand. You have a big hand. Bet. Muchen calmly threw $5,000 worth of chips onto the table. The expert smiled and said, "Okay, I'll call." The first round ended. Muchen also placed $5,000 in chips in the second round. "And you, sir?" the dealer asked the expert. The expert took off his glasses and folded the cards. The expert continued to fold until the fourth round. By the eighth, Vachan bet $5,000 each time. The game continued. Cuts continued on both sides until the 15th round. The same thing happened in the 21st round. The opponent bet $5,000 again and Vachan won again. "I won again." Li Ru couldn't help but taunt, "Mr. Shan, it seems the expert you brought in isn't having luck today." Shagyun-jun still smiled and replied, "Yes, it seems young Master Li's luck has returned." But deep inside, Shagyun-jun was spinning his web like a venomous spider. Now he was thinking, "Little boy, do you think you can defeat me by winning a few rounds?" The expert's words echoed in his mind. "I have a habit. As soon as the game starts, I deliberately lose a few rounds. This gives me a chance to observe my opponent's habits. I analyze his psychology. Then I counterattack immediately." At that time, Shagyun-jun had said, "I leave everything to you." Now Shagyun-jun was calculating in his mind. Li Rutier has already lost over 200 million. He can't just quit so easily. When this guy runs out of chips, he'll definitely keep playing. On game 38, the dealer invited both sides to show their cards. Muchen stepped forward and pushed a large stack of 1 million worth of chips onto the table. The expert thought to himself. He placed a bet without even looking at the cards. He seems to have a lot of faith in his luck. After the cards were dealt, 4 more cards were revealed. Muchen raised the stake again. Another 1 million. The expert looked at Muchen's exposed cards and guessed, "His hand is very weak and I have the king's pawn, I win." With complete confidence, he pushed all his chips. "If that's the case, then I'm all in." Li Rautai thought, looking at Muchen. His expression suggested his brother-in-law had a better chance of winning, but he hadn't even properly looked at the cards. The result was still uncertain. Muchen lightly rubbed his 2 cards and said, "I'm all in too." The expert raised his glasses and smiled. "There's very little money on the table. Let's add another 100 million. Muchen replied arrogantly, "What will 100 million do? Let's bet 200 million. With that, Li Rautai immediately signaled to the staff. Within moments, 2 female staff members arrived with a large number of chips. Muchen challenged again, "I'll bet another 100 million. "What do you say?" The expert was lost in thought. "According to my observation, he only places his hands on the most important cards. That means he probably has the SS. After a moment of thought, the expert folded it. The expert laughed. "How careless. Are you? If you had listened to me and bet another 50 million, you might have won another 50 million. Lu Rubing also became curious. He asked, "Did you have an ace?" Muchen flatly denied it. "No, I had a 2 of hearts." The expert stood up angrily and slammed his hand on the table. "Why are you playing with me?" Muchen replied calmly. "Don't you have the courage to bet yourself?" The expert sat back down and began calculating. "Okay, don't be so happy, I've understood your habit." The game continued. Round 31 arrived. This time, luckily, both hands were almost equal. The expert saw the last card, the 9 of diamonds. He calculated in his mind, "Our hidden cards are almost the same. Unless he has a 9 of hearts, he can't beat me, and the probability of all 4 nines coming out in one round is very low." Both of them had the same thought. Now it's time to pack up. The expert smiled. "Looks like our hand isn't bad either. Let's decide in one round. What do you think? 200 million all in." Muchen also pushed forward all his chips without hesitation. The atmosphere in the casino became tense. Li Rubbing asked with mild concern, 200 million for one round, isn't that too risky? My brother-in-law has amazing luck. Maybe there won't be any problems, Li Ru said. Both Shangninjun and his expert thought Muchen had fallen into their trap. The expert happily said, "Okay boy, if you bet, you won't regret it later. If you can't control your mindset, you won't go far in the world of gambling." He couldn't help himself and threw his cards loudly on the table. "Dare to place such a big bet without looking at the cards? Do you think you're a gambling god? And consider this 200 million as your fee for a lesson." Both Li Yuan and Li Rubbing thought it was all over. Meanwhile, Shangyun was completely convinced he would win this time. He mocked, "Young master, you have so much wealth and such a big business. What difference does it make if you lose a little money?" Li Yuan simply clenched his teeth, watching the entire drama silently. Finally, Muchen spoke up. "You're done talking. If you're done talking, then see for yourselves." Then Muchen calmly placed his card on the table. The expert couldn't help himself. He immediately snatched it and flipped it over, and the next moment his face went white. It was indeed a 9 of spades. The expert's entire body trembled. You saw the cards. Impossible. When did you see them? Vachan laughed coldly. You thought I didn't see them. Then why do you think I keep my hands on my cards every round from the very beginning? To look at them, avoiding your gaze, of course. Your technique isn't bad. You're just too much of an agent. After watching a few rounds, you thought you understood my playing style. But did you ever think, what you thought was habit, was it really habit, or just acting to deceive you? A coldly extraordinary. Rautai turned to Wu Chen and asked, why aren't you letting them leave? Wu Chen didn't answer immediately. He simply extended his hand to Rautai. You'll find out everything in a little while. Do you have a parrot? Let me lend it to you. Rautai handed him his parrot. Do you know how to use it? Wu Chen took it. Then he demonstrated some basic moves and asked Rautai, what do you think now? Wu Chen then walked towards the expert with a serious face. He took the expert's hand and pulled out the ace of spades hidden in his sleeve. Rautai was completely shocked. In the 10th round, you deliberately hid the ace of spades in your sleeve in case of an emergency, Wu Chen said softly. For the trump card, you thought I didn't find out. I didn't expose it immediately because I had to win the money back first. Rautai shouted angrily, you bastard, dare to cheat in my casino. Then he turned to Sheng Anjun and said, Bosh, what's your explanation for this? Sweat broke on Sheng Anjun's forehead. He looked at the expert. The expert could only say, this is a misunderstanding. Suddenly, Vachan quickly overpowered the expert and angrily said, you broke the rules. Do you know what the consequences are? Before anyone could react, Wu Chen pulled his hand away. The expert cried out in fear. Yes, yes, my hand, my hand. Vachan then turned to Sheng Yunjun and said, do you have anything to say? Sheng Yunjun immediately denied it. This has nothing to do with me. I didn't ask him to do this. It was all his own choice. Vachan handed the item back to Rautai. I'm leaving. You handle the rest, and remember, there shouldn't be any fighting inside the club. After leaving the casino, Rubbing asked, how do you feel? Vachan said only 3 words, nothing special. Rubbing asked surprised, nothing special. Vachan replied casually, I didn't have any. How would I feel? Vachan then continued walking. Rubbing was also surprised. This man took such a big deal so easily. Strange thoughts ran through her mind. This man can't kill anyone, right? Some time later, Vachan and Libbing were returning to the company in the same car. Rubbing said, I didn't expect an intelligence broker like you to be so good at car racing. Vachan looked at him and said, just a little skill and don't forget the gratitude fee, transfer it directly to my account. Libbing was speechless. This man is always thinking about money. Suddenly, Vachan leaned near the car window and looked outside. Libbing asked, what happened? Vachan leaned back and said, there are 2 cars following us. The driver also reported, Madam, there are indeed some cars following us. Libbing immediately ordered, cut them off. Then through gritted teeth she said, Dinglong, that power is daring to follow me. But Vachan didn't think so. She thought to herself, no, these aren't Dinglong's people. Their target isn't Libbing. Vachan grabbed Libbing's hand. Don't be afraid, Libbing, I'm here. Rubbing thought he was just acting out the situation. Oh, your flirting isn't bad. I almost gave in. Then she released her hand. You must be hungry, haven't you? You've helped me a lot today. I'll treat you to dinner. Libbing then took Vachan to a European-style hotel restaurant. As soon as they sat down, Vachan asked, you know a lot of people here. Aren't you afraid someone will see me? Libbing smiled. I just want more people to see you. Just then a man approached them. Heng Deli, co-founder and chairman of the Longchen Group. He smiled and said, Madam, what a coincidence. You're here for dinner too. Libbing raised her head. Chairman Han, my boyfriend wanted to eat European food, so I came here with him. Then she pointed to Vachan. Vachan, this is Chairman Han. Han Deli, co-founder of the Longchen Group, extended his hand and smiled. It's nice to meet you. You two really look like a perfect match together. Vachan shook his hand. I'm happy too. Chairman Han, thank you for your kind words. Han Deli then checked his watch. Excuse me, I don't want to disturb your funeral. My clients have arrived. Please excuse me. As soon as Han Deli left, Libbing said, Han Deli isn't a bad person. He has a lot of connections and is also the steward of the Donghai Chamber of Commerce. Vachan said in a calm voice, there's no need to introduce him. I know him better than you do. Rubbing said, a little annoyed. Yes, you're an intelligence broker. You know everything. Vachan reminded him, but not everyone wants to be your friend. Rubbing didn't object. Of course, I have plenty of rivals, especially women, but becoming my enemy would probably be the stupidest decision anyone could make. Isn't it? Vachan had to agree. Yes, that's true. Suddenly, a voice called out, hey, it's Miss Lee, isn't it? What a coincidence. But Miss Lee, when did you start hanging out with your little boys? The speaker was Liu Keoshu, whose real name was Liu Luan. The 32-year-old daughter-in-law of the Liu family in Dongba City. 7 years ago, she married Lugan, chairman of the Dongjili Group. With Lugan's help, she established her company, Yangshu Fashion Limited, a direct competitor to Liu Bing's. Luan joked. The taunting continued. Miss Li turned 27 this year, and this guy barely looks 20. While the old cow seems to have found new grass, Libin's face immediately cooled. She said in a deep voice, "Miss, out of respect for Boss Lu, I'm letting what you said be a joke, but I hope you don't overdo it." Lulan laughed. "What's wrong? When you've already done the work, why be afraid of people's comments?" Li Rubin was furious. She picked up her coffee and stopped it from throwing it at Lu. "I am telling you to shut up." Wachan immediately reached out and stopped her. "Don't get angry, let me handle it." Wachan slowly walked over to Lulan. He placed his hand on his chin and stared at her intently. He was thinking. Lulan frowned. "Why are you staring at me like that?" Wachan replied calmly. "Nothing, I just feel like you look a little familiar, as if I've seen you somewhere before." Suddenly, Wuchen clapped his hands. "Yes, now I remember, you used to work in a nightclub, right?" Leka Aishu angrily slammed her hand on the table. "You're the one who works in a nightclub. Your entire family works in nightclubs. How dare you insult me? Do you know who I am?" Wuchen mockingly replied, "Insult me? Do you think you can fool me just by changing your appearance?" Leka Aishu's heart was shocked. How did he know I used to work in a nightclub? It's been 10 years since I had plastic surgery. No one should know about this. Libing also came to Wuchen. "Finding out even such small and trivial things. Your intelligence network is truly commendable." Wuchen looked at Libing. "It's too early to praise me. Wait a little while, you'll be even more surprised." Just then, Lu Guanyan, chairman of the Donghai Group, arrived. "Why is there such a commotion, Kaishu?" Li Kaishu immediately ran over and fell into his face, crying, "Honey, that bastard dares to threaten me, saying I used to work at a nightclub. You have to deal with him." Lu Yan calmed her down, saying, "Stop crying, I'll take care of it." Then he turned to Larubing and asked, "Surely, who is this man?" Larubing replied, "This is my boyfriend, Wu Chen." Lu Yan came over to Wei and said coldly, "I am Lu Yan. I have some status in Donghai. You insulted my wife, you insulted me too. This won't end with just a few words." Wu Chen smiled. "There's someone who can settle this matter for me." Lu Yan laughed. "You think you can take on me because you have the Li family's support?" Wu Chen shook his head. "I'm not talking about Libing, I'm talking about Mangwang." Lujian's face changed at the mention of that name. "How do you know him?" Even Libing couldn't understand why Lujian seemed so scared at the mere mention of a name. Wu Chen gestured. "Chairman, can we talk privately?" Lujian followed, unwilling to follow. After a considerable distance, Wu Chen began, "I have 2 things to tell you. The first is about Luck Aishu. 10 years ago, she worked at a nightclub and earned a lot of money. During that time, she met a very wealthy client. That client had just started a real estate business. When he was young, he got into a fight and was badly injured. After being discharged from the hospital, the doctor told her that it would be very difficult for her to have children in the future, and the doctor's words proved true. IVF also failed. Once, while drunk, she confided in Luck Aishu, and after learning the secret, Luck Aishu came up with a dangerous plan. He underwent plastic surgery. She changed her name and gradually became that man's wife. 3 months later, she became pregnant and gave birth to a son. But the child wasn't that rich client's. It was someone else's. He knew you would get a paternity test done, so he bribed the doctor and changed the reports. I'm sure Chairman Lu must have already realized that as your son grew up, he looked less and less like you. You just didn't have the courage to face the truth. But that wasn't even the whole plan. His ultimate goal is to have you killed in an accident and take all your property." Lu Yan tried to remain calm and said, "Do you think I'll believe just a few things you say?" Wanshan continued, "Your wife's cousin who works at your company is his. He's not her cousin, he's her lover, they're still dating. They still meet secretly. Investigating this is easy. You can check it yourself or ask him directly, but to get the truth out, you'll need to apply some pressure." Hearing this, Lugan quickly walked back to Lukashu. "Kaishu, were you with your cousin at the company yesterday?" Lukashu replied, hiding his fear. "Yes, we were both in the office until work was over." Lugan immediately denied it. "Wrong. Yesterday he told me himself that he was out entertaining clients. He wasn't at the company at all. He really told you that." Lukashu panicked. "Maybe she's misremembering." Luyan's face darkened. "I'm misremembering, so let me call him right now and ask." Lukashu quickly replied, "Oh, now I remember. He went to clients yesterday afternoon but returned at 3:00. After that, he was in the office the whole time." "Honey, why are you suddenly asking all this? Did that bastard insult me? Don't you care about me anymore? Don't you love me and our son anymore?" Lu Yan's anger exploded. He raised his hand and slapped him hard. "Do you think I don't know about your affair with that dog-like man? Why don't you just go back home now? I'll settle accounts with you later." Lu Yan then said softly, "I'm sorry you both had to witness all this." Li Rubbing replied, "It's okay, we won't tell anyone." Lu Yan said sadly, "All I wanted was for the Lu family to have an heir in the future. I never thought people would take advantage of this weakness of mine." Lu Yan clenched his fist, then slowly released it. "Come on, it seems I'm not destined to have a child of my own." Wu Chen immediately objected. "That's not true. Chairman Lu has a wonderful son. That's the second thing I was going to tell you," Wu Chan continued. Then he began to tell a story. There was a boy and a girl, childhood friends, childhood sweethearts. They loved each other deeply and wanted to spend their lives together. But when the man learned to earn money, his mind changed. He left his first love and betrayed her relationship. He took the money and ran away with his new lover. But he didn't know that his first love was pregnant at the time. The woman gave birth to a son because she had become a mother out of wedlock. Her parents severed all ties with her. She raised her son alone, but her hatred for that man never ended. She always told her son, "Your father is dead." That child grew up to be a successful man. He started his own family. Today he has a happy family of 4, so you are not without an heir. You also have a granddaughter. Your granddaughter is very sweet. When you meet her, you will surely love her very much. Lu Yan asked anxiously, "What's my son's name?" "His mother's surname," Vachan replied. Lu Yan's body trembled at the sound. "Shahang, hasn't she remarried?" Vachan shook his head. "Perhaps her trust in men has completely shattered. That's why she hasn't married yet. She still lives in Dongba. She probably knows you've become rich, but she's never tried to find you. Maybe because the wound you inflicted was so deep. This is her current address. Whether she'll forgive you or not, you'll have to find out for yourself." Lu Yan took the paper with trembling hands, then quickly left the restaurant. As he left, he didn't forget to say, "Brother, if Shahang and I ever reunite, I'll never forget this favor of yours." Libing asked with interest, "And Lu Guyan also became a favor to you?" Vachan said with a slight smile, "Maybe it'll be useful in the future." After dinner, Libing dropped Vachan off at home. Vachan got out of the car and said, "See you tomorrow." But just as he was about to leave, Libing called out to him, "Vachan, there's one more thing I wanted to tell you." Vachan stood comfortably against the car. "What's the matter?" Li Rubbing stepped forward, grabbed Wuchen's collar, leaned in and kissed him hard. Then she stepped back and said, "If Ding Long likes to stalk me, let him die." Vachan jokingly asked, "Was this your first kiss?" Liu Bing immediately retorted, "Was this also written in your intelligence report?" Wuchen turned and said, "There was no need for a report. I just found out you're a little inexperienced. You hurt my lips a little. Let's go home now. Bye-bye." At this moment, 2 girls were standing outside Vachan's house. Wo Xian said, "Lily, I'm really hungry. Let's go buy some food. How long will we wait?" The other girl immediately refused. "No, we have to wait for that comeback and then beat him up." Ma Xian hesitated a bit, but I was ready. The other girl angrily said, "Crazy girl, has he brainwashed you? I won't forgive him this time." Ma Xian asked, "But you arranged it yourself. How does he know so many things about you?" The other girl became irritated. "What does he have to do with me? The most important thing is to find him and teach him a lesson." Ma Xian felt a little remorseful. "I thought Lily was just curious about Vachan and would ask a few questions. I didn't expect his reaction to be so intense." Just then Mooch appeared in the hallway. Mu Xian immediately said, "He's here." Mooch was a little surprised. "Oh, so you two are here." The girl in pink sand immediately yelled, "You are a scoundrel. You betrayed my Xian. I knew you weren't a good person just by looking at your pretty boy face." Machan smiled slightly. "If you already knew I wasn't a good person, how dare you come to my house?" With that, he stuffed his hands in his pockets and walked away. The pink-headed girl panicked and took out her electric baton. "What are you going to do? I'm warning you, don't come near me." He calmly walked past her and opened the door. "What will I do?" the pink-headed girl yelled angrily. "You dare betray me, I'll kill you." Machan quickly stopped her. "Don't do that, Lily." But before she could get close, Machan spoke. "Ushur has other women besides you." The pink-headed girl froze. "What did you say?" she said in a calm voice, turning to me. "It's been 4 days since Ushur returned to Dongga. Before he met you, he went to apartment number 19, 2011 on Shan." She immediately took out her phone and called Hushwi. "Baby, where are you?" Hushwi replied without thinking, "I am at home." The pink-headed girl immediately said, "I have 10,000 rupees in the room. First, read out the serial number of the note." Hushwi was silent for a moment. Then making an excuse, he said, "I am in the bathroom. I'll call you in half an hour." Hearing this, the pink-haired boy's face turned red with anger. "Are you in your senses, or you're not home? Now see what I do to you." With that, she ran away angrily. Mushian yelled after her, "Lily, stop." But Lily wouldn't stop. Then Vachan reached out and lifted Mushian straight into his arms. "Now that you're here, you won't sit down." Mushian's face immediately turned red. "Why are you carrying me?" Vachan said softly. "I was wondering if you were tired." Mushian squirmed in his arms. "I can walk on my own. Put me down, do you hear me?" "Put me down right now, you rascal." The next morning, Vachan was getting dressed. He glanced at Mushian, who still refused to get up. Mushian, ashamed and angry, said, "You rascal, I've barely been here for a few hours, so I've had some sleep. I still need some more sleep." Mooch threw a piece of paper at him. "This is my phone number. If you want to meet me later, call this number and stop making a fuss outside my house." A smile instantly appeared on Mushian's face. "That's it." Then Wuchen left the house, but he felt someone following him. He took out his phone and dialed a number. "Wasn't following me all day enough. I'm just going to do some exercise. Wait a little while and come straight to the arena." Arriving at the arena, Wuchen began training diligently. He had mastered numerous martial arts and techniques in a time loop spanning thousands of years, but his physical strength was still not powerful enough and he needed training. Now that he had angered Dinglong, he knew he would face some trouble in the future. After the training was over, Vachan arrived. Vachan remembered. Vachan was just a second-rate martial artist at first, but after establishing a connection with Libing, his influence grew rapidly, and within a few years he became one of the foremost influential figures in Tong City, and he was also the youngest. Wang began the conversation first. "Mr. Wu, I want to explain something. You're misunderstanding. The people I sent after you were solely for your safety. I had no ill intentions," Vachan asked. "Li Wouter doesn't know you're following me, right? He cares deeply for his sister. If he hears this, you're finished." Vachan spat nervously. Seeing this, Vachan laughed. "Don't worry." "To tell him I wouldn't have called you here," Vachan asked curiously. "Then what do you want?" Vachan picked up a water bottle. "I want to be friends with you. You have a lot of people. If I ever need people, I'll just have to bother my new friend. And if you need my help in the future, just tell me straight away." Vachan thought to himself, "I have a lot of information, but I don't have my own people. If Vaish helps me, a lot of things will be easier in the future." Just then, Vachan's phone rang. It was from Li Rubbing. "Hello, Vaish, come to the company quickly. Something's happened." Vaish immediately replied, "Okay, I'm coming." Vaish immediately offered him the car keys. "I'm a gentleman, please take my car. There are clothes inside, if you don't mind. Please accept this as an apology from me." Pooja took the keys without hesitation, and I won't bother with any formalities. At that moment, the entire public relations department at Li Rubbing's company was in chaos. People were talking on the phone everywhere. There was no schedule available. "Please arrange one for President Li. Price isn't an issue." Li Rubbing herself was on the phone. The situation was absolutely dire. The news couldn't be released. Just then Vachan came in. "What happened?" Li Rubbing said worriedly. "Deng Shunya, the sports personality and upcoming female singer of our product, was hit by a car. Yesterday you helped me expose Dinglong's plan. You knew the plan was leaked. Today Deng Shunya had an accident. Now she can't advertise our new product. Machena Seralea, this isn't a coincidence like I thought." Libing gritted his teeth angrily and said, "Dinglong is still breaking the rules even after losing the bet. He's even using his family's influence." Vachan calmly said, "Bossly, would you like me to find you a new spokesperson?" Li Rubbing clutched his forehead. "Our standards for spokespersons are very high. Can you really find someone suitable?" Vachan took out his phone and placed the screen in front of him. "There's a top celebrity in the country. An award-winning actress who has won countless awards. Her name is Tao Mining, so tell me, is she qualified?" Libing looked at the photo of the girl on his phone and shook his head. "Tao Mining, this person wouldn't even bother meeting me. Becoming a spokesperson is out of the question. I know you want to help me, but that's not possible." Vachan became a little annoyed. "You're not trusting me again, so let's take a chance. I'll bet that Tao Mining will come to the company in person and sign a contract with you by tomorrow afternoon." Tao Mining was one of the country's most popular actresses. She gained international fame with the martial arts film, SWAT Dance. After that, she received countless endorsements and became the country's second highest paid female celebrity. So Libing thought Vachan was joking. "You're saying Tao Mining will sign a contract with me tomorrow? Don't joke like that. She's currently shooting in a foreign country and already has offers lined up from several cosmetic companies. Our turn is a long way off." Vachan simply said, "I told you before, if you don't trust me, just bet." El Rubing agreed. "Okay, then what bet will you make so you'll shut up and stop bothering me?" Vachan confidently said, "I'll bet that Tao Manning Company will come and sign the contract tomorrow. If I lose, I won't take a single penny from you after today. In fact, I'll even return the 2 million. But if I win, you'll have to give me 20 million. Consider it your fee for finding a spokesperson. But there's one more condition, you won't be jealous." El Rubing offered her goodbye. "Why would I be jealous? We're just fake lovers. I don't really love you. If you love me, I'll love you. If you have, find someone else. I have no right to stop you, and I won't." With that, Libing went back to her work. Vachan turned and said, "Okay, so the deal is done. And yes, you have to be ready to transfer 2 million. Consider this your action fee." Vachan then pulled out his phone. "Hello, I need your help." A while later, Vachan and Vaishnav were standing in an internet cafe. A man shouted, "Boss, come on boss, everything's set up. All the brothers are ready outside." Vaishnav asked in surprise, "Mr. Va, these are all your people?" "I know they know how to play games, but what do you need them for?" Moochai didn't answer. He simply ordered, "Start the machine. Load Overload Legend, Peerless Domination Edition. Everyone, register accounts. Enter server 3 at 5:00 p.m. The character name will be Tyrant Server Overload." As soon as Vachan entered the game, a barrage of notifications began. Character name, Tyrant Server Overload. Recharge amount 10 pay now. Vachan immediately clicked pay now. Filling in the information, he said, "Go inside and wait for me in Nova Square. I'll recharge and create a guild, then you all join." 4 hours later, Vachan shouted, "Brothers, finally beat the boss." Dozens of in-game characters attacked the boss simultaneously. A subordinate jumped with joy. "Wow, I already got a 7,000 account in the first try. Amazing." As soon as the final boss fell, announcements echoed throughout the server. Turn Server Overlord Guild has defeated World Boss. Obtain Beastman King Ring, obtain Shadow Battle Spear, obtain Freedom Title. A man shouted, pick ring. Immediately everyone started fighting for the loot. Hey, share it, that's my item, don't wear it. Vachan's character approached Vachan. Mr. Vachan, our guild has killed the dragon. We've become the server's #1 guild, but we've blown almost 1 million on this game. Vachan looked at the screen and smiled. The entire server was empty. All other guilds had either died or fled. Now only 2 remained. Terran Server Overlord, Dragon Conquest of Heavens, and Dragon Conquest of Heavens. It was time for the second step. After giving a few commands, a notification popped up. Player Terran Server Overlord Guild Leader has initiated the City Lord battle. Start the City Lord battle, the command shouted. Prepare for the final battle with Dragon Conquest of Heavens. Everyone said in unison. Yes, boss. A fierce battle began outside the main city. The clang of swords and the sound of skill echoed everywhere. Cut him down, drop his weapon, pick up the item. Hey, I'm on your team. Why did you steal my loot? Then a voice called out, Vachan, not bad. You've squandered a lot of money. It seems I'm a really rich player. The speaker was Kanglong Yuan, the guild leader of Dragon Quest of Heavens. Kagan laughed and said, our 2 games are almost equal. Result hasn't been decided yet. Vachan interrupted. No, the winner has already been decided. Kangan laughed. Well, tell me, how will you win? Vachan shook his head. You won't. Kagan was completely confused. What? Vachan suddenly shouted. Tyrant and Overload Gil. Everyone listen carefully. Take off all your equipment and log out. Kagan's eyes widened. What nonsense are you talking about? Kagan immediately jumped up from his chair and ran to Vachan and hugged him tightly. Tears were flowing from his eyes. His nose was also running. Don't go. How will our victory or defeat be decided? Kagan then made a pitiful face with shining eyes and said, Vachan, it's so hard to get a uniformed opponent. With tears in his eyes, he said, I've already recharged the game with 10 million. You must have put in at least 8 or 9 million. Don't you feel sad at all about leaving after wasting so much money? Butch tried his best to hold back his laughter, but he continued to feign distress. What should I do? My woman's company has run into problems. The spokesperson for their new product had an accident. Now we have to find a replacement. I'll have to go back and help her. Kang Yin immediately burst out laughing. Oh, I thought it was a big deal. That's all. We just need some female celebrities. Who do you want? I have plenty of actresses. I might be overreacting. But even if you need to call Uncle Manian, 1 phone call is enough. A wave of joy swept through Pujan's heart. He was hooked, but he didn't show it. He still pretended to be upset. I have some really urgent work. I can't play games anymore. I have to go to Donghi CBD. Kang Yin continued to try to dissuade him. Wait a minute, you're in Donghi too. You Ray from Donghi. Vachan nodded. Yeah, okay, I'll go. We'll talk later. Wu-chan started to get up. Just then a message came on his phone. It was from Kang Yuan. I recharged another 10 million. Finding your phone number is as easy as a handshake. You'll still be using the same server after the game ends, so why don't we just talk to you directly? I'll help you out. Should I come to you or will you come to me? Wu-chan smiled. Exactly as he'd imagined, he replied immediately. Okay, my girlfriend is really upset. If you have any suggestions, it would be best to meet. Then Wu-chan told his men, okay, brother, everyone disperse. Kang Yuan quickly sent a message. I'm waiting at Chinyan Tower. A few moments later, Chindaya, Vachan and Kang Wan were sitting face to face. Wu-chan started the conversation first. Kang Yuan, that is, Bossly Yu. The man sitting across from him was none other than the second young master of the Li family of the Yun. I've heard your name before, the second young master of the Li family of the Yuan group, Lechang asked while pouring tea. So how should I know your name? Which family are you from? Wu Cheng picked up his teacup. Why are you so serious? Are you afraid your elder brother will kill you? The Pangfali family was one of the top 10 groups in the processing industry, with assets reaching hundreds of billions. Chairman Li, who was 70 years old and controlled everything behind the scenes, but the real power lay in the hands of his eldest son, Lilu. Lelu considered any family that came close to Lechang a weakness. Lelu had tried to eliminate Lechang many times, and the situation remained the same today. When did Lechang raise his voice? Who are you? Which family do you belong to? Wu-chang lowered his voice. Boss, relax, I am not from any family. I don't have a big background. Our meeting is just a coincidence. Lechang thought to himself, if I don't get an answer now, I'll be fine. If we find it, father will investigate later, and if it were Lelu's man, it wouldn't seem so inexperienced. Then he changed the topic. Let's talk about your girlfriend. How much money did you waste? You wasted so much. You couldn't even find a spokesperson. Wu Cheng shrugged. I didn't think our spokesperson would be targeted. Lechang asked, that's why you ran away from the game. Don't worry, I'll keep my promise. I'll arrange a spokesperson for you. What's the name of your girlfriend's company, and what industry is she in? Wu Cheng replied, it's a cosmetic company. It also works in the health and fashion industries. Lechang was a little surprised. Oh, so your wife is La Rubbing. Then he burst out laughing. If you were from the Li family, you would have said it directly. Why did you need to hide it so much? I thought you were someone else. Wu Cheng shook his head. I don't consider myself a member of the Li family. I heard that Libing has a relationship with his family. The relationship isn't very good either. He hadn't even finished speaking when the phone rang. It was Libing. Vachan received the call. Libing's angry voice was heard on the other end. You took my 10 million and squandered it on a game. Vachan remained calm and said, now isn't the right time to explain. The bet is still on. Whoever loses will have to kneel and apologize. Libing said just 3 words, just wait, and hung up. Lechang was shocked to hear all this. You dare talk to Li Rubbing like that? It was hard for him to even think about it. To bring a woman like Li Rubbing to her knees. What is this guy's background? Vachan just smiled. This happens in love. It's normal for him to get angry. We've had a bit of a fight. Lechang pushed the teacup towards him. Come have some tea. By the way, what kind of fight did you two have? Tell me a little. Pooch began in a serious tone. In his company, someone has conspired against me. I wanted to help her, but I refused. I know the truth about why she did this. She wants to protect me. Bossly, do you know Dinglong? Lechang gave me Cirilla. Who doesn't know him? I think all this happened because of Dinglong. Wu Chang continued. Labing is afraid that if Dinglong recognizes me, he will take action against me. Suddenly, Wu Chang stood up and spoke loudly. But Bossly, I am a man of honor. How can I be a coward, no matter what the cost? I have to help my girlfriend. Lechang slammed his hand on the table. You're absolutely right, brother, you're absolutely right. Come on, let's have tea instead of alcohol. A mortal never gives up. We'll fight Dinglong to the last breath. They clinked their teacups. Vachan continued, we have a bet. If I solve this problem and the advertisement runs smoothly, I win. And if I lose, from today onward, I'll have to obey her every whim. If she asks me to crawl, I'll have to crawl. So won't I become her sugar baby? Lechang laughed out loud. That's it, don't worry about it. I can help you. We just need to find a spokesperson. Give me this job. Lechang immediately picked up the phone and made the call. Hello, daughter. A voice came from the other end. Speak, father. Lechang simply said, take a temporary break. Donga, come back. I'll handle the director's side. Yes, it's absolutely urgent. I need you to sign with a cosmetic brand. Don't worry about the money. I'll compensate you. Goodbye. Okay, the moment ended. Vachan immediately perked up and said, awesome. Lechang smiled and said, everything's set now. No problem. Wachang thought to himself, everything's going according to plan. To be honest, the process went even smoother than I expected. The compensation for Tom Manning's contract bridge won't be a small sum. In exchange, I'll give Lechang some intelligence about Lalu. He's now my friend and isn't afraid to take on Dinglon. I can't let him suffer. With that thought, Wachang sent Lechang a message. Lechang looked at his phone and then looked at Wachang. It seems we've developed a good connection. I am a few years older than you, so you can call me Brother La. Wachang replied without hesitation. Yes, Brother La. Well, there are some things we should discuss. Lechang suddenly felt a bad feeling. He turned left and asked, what do you mean? Just then, a new notification appeared on his phone. Check the message, Wuchang said calmly. Lechang's hands trembled slightly. As soon as you get the owner's number, get hold of that man. He'll tell you the full truth about that old accident, Wuchang continued. Brotherly, you should act quickly. Who knows, maybe he'll go abroad. After all, he belongs to this army. Lechang thought to himself, I've already informed my people. Looks like I'll have to speed up. I can't let him stay here any longer. The story of that old accident went something like this. One evening 10 years ago, a truck hit Lechang's car on a slope. No matter how quickly Lechang reacted, it was futile. His car tumbled down the slope. A fuel leak caused the car to explode. Lechang luckily survived, but he witnessed his wife die before his eyes. Lechang was immediately sent to the ICU and remained there for 3 months. During that time, Lechang discovered some clues. The driver responsible for the accident was a man of Liu, the director of Hengfa's security department. But after that incident, he suddenly disappeared. Lechang lost his most important witness and was forced to listen to the compromise between the old man and Liu. For the past few years, Lechang had become a wealthy, spoiled second-generation heir, indifferent to the world, just waiting for his father to take action. Just then, a bodyguard reported, Boss, the identity has been verified and the address has been found. Lechang was excited. Well, very well. Then he turned to Wuchen and said, Old friend, I'm leaving. I owe you this time. If anything happens in the future, please let me know straight away. Vachan thought to himself, it's only been 2 days since my new life and I've already made friends with 2 big names. Let's take the people tomorrow and Chan today. No problem, I'll take the 20 million first. Sorry, we'll see about it later. Vachan pressed the button to call Libing. The phone notification came up. Hello, recipient has rejected the call. Vachan was surprised. She wasn't even answering. A little while later, a message came. I'm in a meeting. Vachan thought to himself, looks like she's still angry with me for spending 20 million playing games. Don't even think about this woman, let's go home and convince her. While stopping at a signal, Vachan looked to the side and saw a luxury vehicle, but she looked familiar. It was actually Sushian, Donghai's #1 daughter, the most beautiful woman in Donghai. Vachan was lost in old memories. She was one of those people who she had left the deepest impression on him. Simple, caring, and kind-hearted, she had everything. Vachan opened the car door and waved, saying, "If fate brings us together, I must make a move. Hello." But Su Xinjin simply closed the car window. Seeing this, Wu Chen went ahead and sent her a text message. "Isn't that you? This is my first time meeting you, and you're even more beautiful than the rumors." Vachan thought Su Xinjin would be shocked to find he had her number and that they would soon meet again. Suddenly, a text message arrived. Vachan was excited. He thought Su Xinjin would reply, but it wasn't. The message was from Li Routai. "Brother-in-law, please come here. I have a gift for you." Vachan immediately went to the address provided in the message. Upon arriving, Li Routai quickly said, "Brother-in-law, this house has 3 floors above the ground and a basement level. The total area is 600 square meters, and there's even a garden for you." Vachan was surprised. Li Routai smiled and said, "I was saved from a big problem yesterday because of you, and if my sister gets pregnant, she won't be able to live with you in the old apartment. This is just a small gift from Uncle. You two can decide for yourselves what to do with the ownership." Vachan could only say that. Oh, the next morning, a beautiful girl and a bodyguard were standing at the reception desk of Lin Ruby's company. The receptionist asked, "Ma'am, who do you want to meet?" The girl replied, "I have an appointment with your president, President Li Rubin." The receptionist immediately asked, "Ma'am, can you tell me your name?" The girl took off her sunglasses and mask. "My name is Tu Menying." The receptionist checked the list and then said, "Your name is not on the list. The president is in a meeting right now. Please wait a moment, we'll report." At that moment in the conference room, Li Rubin angrily slammed his hand on the table. "There are only 13 days left for the announcement, and you guys still haven't found anyone." The entire room was silent. No one dared to speak. Libing was furious. She didn't even pick up the phone. She spoke louder. "You take your salary and just sit around, right?" The phone kept ringing. Finally, Libing, distraught, picked up the phone. But upon hearing the news, his tone immediately changed. Tao Manning, send him to my office quickly." Libing couldn't believe it. The company hadn't even invited him. Could it be because of the promise? La Rubing hurried to meet Tao Manning. La Rubing apologized. "Hello, mister, I'm a little late. I was very busy these days and forgot to inform the reception." Tao Manning responded politely, "Presidente, you're being too formal. Presidente too is very beautiful. You and Mr. Wu really seem like a perfect match." Li Rubing said, "Mister, please sit down. Do you know my watchman?" Li Rubing thought to herself, surely all this happened because of him. Tao Menying explained, "We don't know each other personally, but my father, Lechang, and Mr. He are brothers. It was because of my father that I was asked to come here." Li Rubing's forehead sweated. Tao Menying's father is Lechang. He is the youngest son of Liang Yu of the Le family, and he is Wu Chen's brother. Thinking about this, she became even more perplexed. Tao Menying then said, "It's about signing the advertising contract. Can we complete it quickly? My editors are constantly pestering me." Libing immediately replied, "Sorry, bring the contract quickly. We'll sign it right now." The secretary responded quickly. After the contract was signed, Tao Menying shook hands with Libing. "Presidently, everything is fine. I wish this cooperation a smooth success." Libing smiled and replied, "Yes, a smooth cooperation." Shortly after Tao Menying left, Wu Chen arrived. Wu Chen said, "The contract's been signed. Now perhaps the loser should show some sincerity." Libing retorted, "How long have you known Lechang?" Wu Chen asked in a mysterious voice, "Why so many questions? Intelligence personnel don't reveal their secrets." Libing waved his hand. "Okay, let's change the topic. I apologize." With that, Libing quickly took off her coat, removed her shoes, and knelt down. "I, Libing, never go back on my word." Zane was a little surprised. "You really got down on your knees." He immediately extended his hand and lifted Libing up. "Okay, get up." Just then, Li Rutan called. "The SCC is investigating your brother-in-law. The operation is huge. I just received information." "It's intercepted?" Li Rubing asked. "Tell me who it is." Li Ruta immediately replied, "The Su family's Jinfuck operation." Li Rubing turned to Wu Chen and asked, "Why is the Su family investigating you?" Wu Chen replied coldly, "None of your business, don't worry about it." Li Rubing frowned and said, "You're so mysterious. It seems you want me to care more about you. Maybe you're even falling in love with me." Wu Chen immediately replied, "You're neither the most beautiful woman I know nor the richest, and on top of that you always have a sour face, yet you're so confident that I'll fall in love with you." Libing angrily said, "So you're saying that you've had so many women in your life and all of them were incredibly beautiful?" Wu Chen laughed. "I agree, there were plenty of them before. Whether they were all breathtaking beauties now is a different matter, but there were definitely some more beautiful than you." Wu Chen challenged, "Who? Name them, I'll go and investigate." Wu Chen said nonchalantly, "Do you want to intrude into each other's private life?" "No chance." Li Rubing teased again, "Can't you tell me? I thought you were very capable. You're more beautiful than me, you're just lying." Just then Wu Chen's phone rang. He received the call. A voice came from the other side. "Is this Wu Chen? This is Sashinian speaking. I think we have a lot to talk about. Please decide on a time." Wu Chen asked why we are meeting so soon. Sashinian said directly, "Of course, some things need to be clarified. Call me when you reach Yangsha Private Club tomorrow morning at 9:00. Vachan replied simply, "Okay." Liu Bing looked at her suspiciously and asked, "Is she one of your women too?" Vachan looked at her, "Not right now, but maybe in a few days." Lee Rubbing thought to himself, I don't know her personally, but I've heard of Sushinian a lot. Her father was focused on business and married late. They had a daughter with great difficulty. Sushinian was raised as a noble lady. Her family education was very strict. Even when she went abroad to study, she had bodyguards around the clock to prevent any early romance. Later, when her father fell ill and was near death, they tried to arrange her marriage quickly. The selection criteria were very strict. Neither too old nor too young. Family assets must be at least 1 billion. And most importantly, she must be willing to merge with the Su family. The Su family's conditions were absolutely non-negotiable. If Sushinian was as obedient and compliant as people said, Vachan had almost no chance. So Libing taunted, saying, no matter how many days it takes, she'll never agree. Vachan smiled, I don't believe you want to bet again. Libing replied without thinking, bat. Vachan asked, a real bat, aren't you scared even after losing last time? Libing arrogantly replied, I want to bet. Washeng said, okay, give me 3 days. I'll make her my woman who will stay with me for the rest of her life. Libing immediately replied, I'll give you 30 days. Washeng shook his head. No need, 3 days is enough. Libing then offered a bet. If you lose, you'll have to beg on your knees. Vachan extended his hand and put it around Libing's waist. If you lose, Libing turned and said, so what do you want me to do? Vachan said in a mysterious voice, let me think. But Libing doesn't care, it's fine. I'm betting anyway. If I lose this time, I'll accept it completely. Then it's a sure thing, said Vachan. A new day, a private golf course north of Donghai. The receptionist asked, sir, is this your first time here? Shall I guide you to the golf room? Vachan declined, I have an appointment with Su Shannon. As he said this, a bodyguard in black appeared. Vachan replied, it's me. The bodyguard led the way, please come with me, sir. Miss Su is waiting for you. After walking for a while, Vachan reached Su Shannon. When he arrived, Su Shannon had just hit a shot. Vachan said it was a good shot. Su Shannon ignored the compliment and simply asked, how did you know that? Vachan slowly walked toward him. How did I know that? It's not important. Su Shannon said coldly, name your price. Vachan was shocked. Price, you think I've come to extract money from you? Don't ask for it like that, Sushinian said nonchalantly. I'm feeling even more sensitive. Vachan said, if you're so worried, why don't you get more bodyguards? Or why don't you just end it with me? Sushinian took a deep breath and said, first of all, I'm not Lee Rubbing. I wouldn't murder to shut someone up. Second, you're Libing's boyfriend. No one would dare do that to you. So you want proof from me? Vachan asked. Sushinian was confused. Proof, he said. Suddenly, Vachan came closer and started pretending to teach her golf. Sushinian angrily asked, what are you doing? Vachan replied simply, I'm just teaching you how to play golf, don't overthink it, and anyway I've given you reasonable proof, so why aren't you still satisfied? Sushinian thought to herself, this is Lurubin's boyfriend. If Lurubin finds out he's so close to another girl, she'll never believe he's just teaching me golf. This man is asking for trouble. Maybe it's not me who should be afraid. If I don't resist, that alone will be enough for him. I need it. Vachan focused on golf again. The bodyguard standing outside couldn't understand what the young miss was doing. Sushinian asked, aren't you afraid I'll call Lurubing and complain? Vachan smiled, but you're also afraid I'll tell your secret to others, so we're even, aren't we? Sushinian said, very well, you've deliberately brought another problem upon me. Vachan slapped Sushinian's backside and scolded him. Pay attention, improve your swing. I don't understand who taught you golf first. Sushinian's face turned slightly red. Your bodyguards couldn't wait any longer. They immediately informed Madam. One of the bodyguards quickly called. Madam missed that. Meanwhile, Vachan continued speaking in a calm voice. I'll teach you again. Keep your feet a little closer. Keep your shoulders straight. And yes, exactly like this. Vachan continued slapping Sushinian's backside. Is your pelvis crooked? If not, then push it in further. After a while, Sushinian shot and turned around and asked, is it all right now? Vachan nodded. Okay. I don't need to teach you anything anymore. Sushinian asked, surprised. Why? Vachan laughed. Because your mother has already sent people to catch me. Meanwhile, Madame Su was listening to the bodyguard's report. Madam, he was very close to the army miss. She was talking and laughing. It seemed as if he was teaching him golf, but they seemed quite close, and the miss had come specifically to wait for him today. Madame Su shouted angrily, wait right there, I'm coming right now, don't let him escape. The bodyguards immediately replied, yes, madam. Sushin, worried, asked, what if my mother comes? Vachan simply replied, run away and we'll talk later. Do you want to run away with me? Sushin hesitated. Vachan asked again, do you want to live in this invisible cage for the rest of your life? Sushin fell silent. I mean, Vachan took her hand and pulling her, he said, what are you thinking? Let's run. The bodyguards immediately spotted them. Go after them. Vachan quickly got into the car and sped off. The bodyguards behind him yelled, wait, inform Madam. One of the bodyguards immediately called Madame Su. Miss Madam ran off with the man. Madame Su screamed, what did you say? On the other side of the road, Vachan's car was racing at a breakneck speed. Vachan asked, are you scared? Sushin just smiled, no, not at all. Just then her phone rang. Sushan received the call. It was her mother. Vachan looked at her. Try being yourself for a day. Sushan took a deep breath. Mom Sue, Madam asked, where are you and who are you with? Sushan replied in a frightened tone, with my friend. Madam Sue's anger turned to pride. Friend, when did you start making friends? Don't you know your worth? Is he worthy of you? I raised you for so many years, and now you're running away from home holding a man's hand. Vachan rolled down the car window, easing the pressure on Sushan. Sushan looked at him silently. Thank you, Vachan. Today I want to be myself. Then, gathering courage, she said into the phone, Mom, I'm a human being too. I'm not a puppet under your control. Sue Madam was stunned for a moment, unable to speak. What did you say? Before the call could continue, Sushan hung up. I think your mother will send the entire Sue family to find us, Vachan began. No, she's afraid of losing her reputation. She won't make such a big fuss. Aren't you afraid I'll send you away? You actually came with me, Vachan joked again. So what if you do? No one has dared to come near me. Since childhood, I've lived under that spotlight. Everyone kept saying I was different. Even after graduation, everything remained the same. My mother wanted me to live up to her expectations, always be perfect, always be excellent. She wouldn't let me eat more than a bowl of rice. I'd be afraid I'd get fat. In her eyes, I must always look beautiful. Now I'm tired. Running away with you is probably my only chance in life, and being with you makes me feel so comfortable. Vachan smiled. I think you made the right choice. It's best to live as yourself. Sushan asked softly, you're Libing's boyfriend, right? Aren't you afraid she'll find out? Vachan was suddenly startled when he saw her unfastening her seatbelt. Sushan stepped forward and forcefully kissed Vachan. Vachan was shocked and immediately applied the brakes. What are you doing? I'm still driving, Sushinian said shyly. I just wanted to. Vachan said in a slightly raised voice, Sushinian, sit properly. This is an order. Sushinian immediately straightened up in her seat. Sushinian refastened her seatbelt without protest. Vachan thought to himself, Sushinian, your personality is exactly as I remembered. Even during that long reacquaintance period, I wanted to get closer to you because of this curiosity. I wanted to understand what such a perfect person really is like. He remembered a time when Sushan was browsing a forum on his laptop. The post read, why doesn't my mother let me play? Why do I always have to shoulder the family responsibilities? Why can I only do what my mother wants? I'm so tired. I'm a human learning machine, just studying, 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 and studying all day long. I'm a puppet. How does it feel to love like a normal girl? How does it feel to be happy? There were many comments below that post. It's okay, be brave, you should live your own life. Sometimes even parents can be wrong. After reading the post, Vachan realized how many chains were hidden behind the perfect image everyone had seen for so many years. She seemed radiant, but in reality, it was difficult to even breathe. The post also included a comment, Miss, what are you worried about? She replied, the desire to be dictated to by others to understand my inner nature. That comment not only revealed her confinement and limited life, but also revealed something else. She was of mixed blood. I just didn't think I'd be able to exploit this side of her right now. Vachan stopped thinking and said, fasten your seatbelt. Sushani asked, where are we going? Vachan asked, where do you want to go? Sushani replied simply, I'll go wherever you take me. Vachan smiled, okay, let's go home. Sushani replied without thinking, okay, let's go home. 4 hours later, the phone rang incessantly. Vachan opened his eyes and received the call. Did they find you? Lee Router was on the other end, sounding panicked. You know, brother-in-law Yuan called me. Madam Sue is investigating his car. He had no choice, so he turned the conversation to me. Then he called me too. Is everything okay with you? Butch replied calmly. It's okay, just stay quiet for now. I'll handle it myself. Just then Lubin called. Miss, you called me. What did you do? Did you offend the Sue family? Butch, I asked, do you really want to know? Labin said irritably, if you want to say something. Say it, Vachan said, wait a minute, then she handed it to Sushanian. Say something. Sushanian was nervous. What should I say? Vachan replied nonchalantly, say, whatever you want, don't worry about finding out who you are. Sushan picked up the phone and said softly, honey, who is on the phone? Is everything all right? Vachan then asked Sushanian, you want to know who is on the other end of the phone, right? Libin's voice came from the other end. Husband. Sushanian replied, hello, excuse me, who are you? Sushan replied, hello, excuse me, who are you? The cold voice on the other end came. Lubing. Sushanian said, oh, so you are Miss Sly. Larubing asked directly, who are you, and what are you doing with Vachan? Sushinian said hesitantly, we're just friends, we're still a little busy. Lubing thought to himself, just now they were calling each other husband and wife, and now they're friends. Lubing didn't digress. So I'm sorry, monsieur, sorry for disturbing you both. Can I meet Vachan for a moment? Vachan replied, I'm at the villa your younger brother gave me. Larubing said, okay, wait there, I'll be right back. Vachan thought it would be more fun when Larubing came over. Sushin was surprised and said, aren't you afraid she'll find out? Vachan told her the truth. Actually, Libing and I aren't lovers, we have a secret that no one else knows. Sushin nodded as if she understood. I understand, you're fake just like her 3 previous boyfriends. Vachan said, even her younger brother doesn't know this, so you have to keep this secret. Understood, Sushin replied simply. I won't go looking for trouble on my own, but how dare you lie to me? You're not afraid of Lee rubbing at all. Vachan pulled her closer. I regret it now. Sushin softly said, no. On the other side, Lee rubbing understood. She couldn't understand how all this had happened. Sushin wasn't that kind of woman, and even the matter of Tao Manning's contract. And now the source of all these problems was the same. This man, Vachan, is like a ghost, undetectable. 40 minutes later, Liu Bing arrived at Vachan's house. Vachan greeted her with a smile. You're here, come in. Liu Bing looked around as soon as she entered. Where was she? Vachan pointed to the kitchen. Sushin was cooking. Husband Miss Lai has arrived. Then she smiled and said, Miss Lai, it's been a long time. Lee rubbing responded, hello, monsieur. But the surprise on her face was clear. She couldn't believe Sushin herself was cooking for Vachan. Sushin said softly, all of you please sit for a while. The soup is almost ready. Just add some eggs and the meal will be complete. Liu Bing immediately turned to Vachan. Will you explain something? Vachan shrugged. What's there to explain? She's my wife. Lee Rubbing's eyes widened. Your wife suddenly became your wife. Since when? Vachan replied, since today. Lee Rubbing was even more surprised. Your Majesty, did you two know each other before? Vachan shook his head. We've never met. Lee Rubbing was always in a free spirit. Are you kidding? Just then, Sushinyan's voice rang out. Dinner is ready. Husband, please help set the table. Okay, I'll wash my hands and come back. Miss, don't stand around like that. Please sit down because the food will be ready soon. Lubin's mind was a whirlwind of questions. She grabbed Vachan's hand. Vachan, come here. But before she could say anything, Sushinyan came again. Husband, I'm tired. Should I dry the clothes on the balcony? Lee Rubbing's expression grew more and more strange. She watched as Sushinyan continued talking. I'll dry the clothes first. Then I'll serve the soup. Where should I put the dry clothes after a while? Lee Rubbing was completely speechless. She felt like 1,000 crows were flying over her head. Sushinyan said, okay, everyone eat. Please taste it and tell me. It's been a while since I've cooked. I don't know if it's to your taste. Liu Bing looked at her jealously. Now she even wanted to feed her. They had become so close. Vachan to be lovers. Even if it means putting on some intimate acts, I won't have any problem. Vachan looked at her. Why are you looking at me? Eat your food. Sushin, she immediately said. Yes, darling, eat this shrimp. It's very tasty. A triumphant smile spread across her face. She thought to herself, see, that's just a fake. I'm real. This man is mine. Liu Bing's anger was growing. They're both ignoring me. She quickly picked up a shrimp, peeled it and handed it to Vachan. Here, Vachan, you eat this too. Vachan ate the shrimp. Okay, I'm full. Sushi quickly took over. You go entertain the guests. I'll clean up. Liu Bing's patience ran out. What are you doing? Come here. She grabbed Vachan and pulled him aside, but suddenly Vachan slipped. Liu Bing didn't get a chance to react. Caution, she screamed. Vachan pulled Liu Bing with him. Liu Bing fell right on top of her. Liu Bing said, be careful. Vachan ignored her and said, a defeat is a defeat. Why are you asking so many questions? You yourself said you would accept defeat gracefully. Liu Bing was annoyed, but Vachan didn't bother her much. I'm so tired. I've been stressed all day and my whole body aches. Give me a massage. Liu Bing asked loudly, should I massage you here or in your room? Vachan replied, I'm not comfortable here. Let's go to the room. A few moments later, Sushinyan came out. Husband, where have everyone gone? Just then, she heard a voice from inside. She quickly went towards him. Husband. When Sushinyan entered the room, she saw Liu Bing massaging Vachan. Sushinyan couldn't believe it. For a man. Vachan looked at Sushinyan and said, I'm done showering. If you're tired, take a break. We're just finishing up. Suddenly, a bold thought came to Sushinyan's mind. Liu Bing had no problem with all this, so is she like me too? If that's the case, then Liu Bing and I are on the same side. Even Liu Bing couldn't defeat Vachan. This man is even more amazing than I imagined. Sushin quickly came to the bed, knelt down and said, Big sister, let's do it together. Liu Bing was completely stunned. Yes, she felt as if she'd seen a ghost. This woman was watching her husband being massaged by someone else. She wasn't angry, she wasn't jealous. Instead, she was calling me sister. What's wrong with Sushin? Does she have a mental problem? Impossible. If she were mentally unstable, how could she have such a perfect reputation? Only people with very strong self-control can be so excellent. How could Vachan make her so crazy? Just then Sushinyan said, Sister, what are you thinking? Keep up the massage. Vachan suddenly remembered something. By the way, Shannon, don't massage. Don't forget to take your medicine. Sushin immediately shook his head. Okay, I'll get it from downstairs. Liu Bing thought to herself, she really does take medicine, but it seems like something else. Then she asked, Vachan, you won't explain. Vachan smiled, give me 1 billion, I'll tell you the truth. Lee Rubbing became irritated. Stop talking nonsense. I'm not interested in knowing how you two fell in love. Tell me the truth. The Su family investigated you because of Sushi's sleep. Right, Vachan shook his head. There's no time for investigation, but the problem now is that I've taken her away from home. Liu Bing asked again, what are you going to do now? Are you going to become Aliven's son-in-law? Vachan laughed. Do you think I'm that kind of man? Li Rubbing still had his doubts. Even if we break up, the family won't let you go easily. Vachan just smiled. Why break up? If we handle the Su family, everything will be over. Liu Bing suddenly realized something. So the Su family still doesn't know about our fake relationship, and it's because of me that I decided to help you. Vachan praised him. You're smart, that's why I said we can handle the current situation, Liu Bing asked through gritted teeth. Now that we're in the same boat, can you tell me why she ran away from home? Vachan replied calmly. She's lived like a puppet for over 20 years. She just wanted to live life to be herself for once. What's wrong if I help her? Just then Vachan's phone rang. He received the call. Hello, Sushin's voice came from the other end. Husband, I found my family. They've come all the way here looking for me. What can I do? Vachan reassured him softly. It's okay, we're coming down. Wait for me, don't worry. After ending the call, Vachan looked at Liu Rubing. The Su family members have arrived. Come on. Liu Rubing asked another question. You knew the Su family would arrive at this time, so you brought me here. You invited me, right? Wuchen smiled. What do you think? Liu Bing frowned. I don't like this feeling. Wuchen was surprised. What feeling? Liu Bing said softly. This feeling that you plan everything in advance, even for me, and I can't even resist you. You understand what I'm trying to say? In a soft voice, Butcher said, don't make it so bad. You and the Su family arriving at the same time is just a coincidence. It wasn't my plan. Liu Bing said again, I'm not blaming you. I just don't like this feeling. Butchen laughed. Your words make me sound like an angry girlfriend. Liu Bing remained silent for a moment, unsure of how to respond. Then they both left the room together. As they left, several bodyguards shouted, he's here, that's the guy. The other guards buzzed like a beehive. Give our young man back. Return our young miss. Liu Rubbing said loudly, it's the Su family, isn't it? You've come to my territory to create trouble for me. A bodyguard stepped forward and tried to explain. Miss, you're misunderstanding. We didn't come for you, we came for him. He pointed at the man. He's taken our young miss with him. Liu Bing waved his hand nonchalantly. Get lost, he's my man. How dare he kidnap other women? The bodyguards exchanged glances, all confused. Just then Suxin stepped forward and angrily asked, what are you guys doing? Who said someone took me? The bodyguards immediately stood up straight. Young miss, some people whispered, we've come on madam's orders. Tuxin retorted, just stop mentioning my mother's name in everything. Why are you interfering so much in my affairs? Who gave you the right to interfere in what was going on between me and my mother? Just then, a dignified voice called out, Sushinian, you're being too stubborn. Everyone turned around to look. Su Madam had arrived. With her entry, the atmosphere grew even more tense. Liu Bing immediately stepped forward and said with a smile, it's been a while. Su Madam, you still look as young and radiant as ever. Su Madam responded with a slight smile, Miss, it's been a long time since we met. The two powerful women's eyes met, and those standing nearby could sense the real confrontation was about to begin.